Good morning, everybody. This is Gayle, and it's another dark, dreary Friday in Virginia, but at least it's been warm this week. Wednesday, I believe it got up to 80. Can you believe that? It's February. But no, being in Virginia, I know their weather can change at the drop of a hat. And then yesterday it was in the 60s, and then today it's not supposed to get out of the 50s. But I can live with that. Normally, our temperatures are down, in the 30s and 40s. So this is great for me. And our poor guys out west was watching one of Richard's live videos last night, and he said it was actually freezing in Phoenix. They're not used to that. They said it was very, very cold. And looking at the weather map, it looks like it's very cold. The whole west is very cold. So weather is just really messed up. It's been a rather emotional week for us. Monday, we did say goodbye to Pink, and she was just such an awesome dog, but she was just tired. We took her to the vet on Monday to get his opinion of her health, and he agreed that she was just worn out. Her body was wearing out. Her organs were fine, and that's what was causing us to wait so long. Is her heart was strong, her kidneys were working fine, her organs were working well. But the body just gives out. No matter how healthy your organs are, the body just gives out. So we said goodbye to her on Monday. Oh, I almost teared up again. She's the one that started the Greyhound madness. My daughter was living with me in Florida when she adopted Pink. So she spent her first year or so with me in Florida, and then she moved back here to Virginia for 2 years before I came back. And then when I came back, she moved back in with me to help me with my mother. And she's been with me ever since. So all but those 2 years of the time that we've had Pink, she's lived with me too. So, of course I developed quite a relationship with her. She was like my own dog. But it was so sad. It's funny because last week she was doing so well. It's like the toothache that goes away when you make your dentist appointment. It's that kind of thing. We had made the appointment for the vet, and we had pretty much made up our mind, what we were going to do. And then that last week, she was just doing really well. So, I prayed all week long, Lord, just give me a sign that we have made the right decision. I don't want to jump the gun and do this too soon. And Sunday was one of our first really pretty days. And Rayanne had left to go visit family right after church. So I was here alone with the dogs, and I went out in the yard to walk around and just kind of look at what was sprouting and what wasn't, just enjoying the outside. And Pink squatted to do her business, and when she did, she fell over and she couldn't get up. And I waited just a few seconds to see if she could get up on her own, and she couldn't. I had to go lift her up. So, that was like my sign that, yeah, she's ready. She's too weak to get up. And then she used to bound up the ramp that we have outside for her because she kept missing the stairs when she would leap. And so we put a ramp up, and on Sunday, she started just walking up the ramp instead of leaping up it like she normally did. So she was ready. She was just ready. And of course, our vet is the most awesome vet in the world. His practice has been voted Richmond's best several times, and I just love him to death. I've been with him for many, many years. And he's just so compassionate. And, he talked with us for a long time. He didn't rush us and, just kind of verified our decision that it was time. So anyway, Monday was really rough, and Tuesday was, a little bit better. I didn't cry all day on Tuesday like I did on Monday. But now we have another problem with the one dog I've got left, Fort Dix, because he's 12 and in his entire life he has never been alone without other dogs. Being a greyhound, he was raised in a racing kennel, of course, where there's another 90 dogs. He came to me as a foster. I always had dogs, then I adopted him because he was very, very shy. Took him 6 weeks to where I could get him to come up to me, but he bonded with my girl Daphne that I lost last fall. And so after Daphne, was, passed away, he seemed a little lost for a while, but he still had Pink. And he just, stuck with her. And now that Pink is gone, he really doesn't know what to do. In my craft room, I know if you've watched my videos for very long, you know that I always struggled because every time I go into my craft room to work, the dogs wanted to come in there and lay down, and I do not have much floor space at all. So I ended up putting a dog bed in there. So when it's mainly for Pink, but I put it in there because, they needed something to lay down on. Pink and Fort Dix both, have arthritis. And so he has been going into the craft room and sitting in there by himself. He'll stay in here a little bit, and then he just gets up and goes in there. And I think he's mourning. And I don't know what to do. I've thought about maybe adopting another senior dog. I don't want to start with a young dog. After having Lola, it taught me that I just don't have the stamina for a young dog anymore. But, I don't know. I don't want to get a dog. Most large dogs, unless you get a greyhound, are going to shed. And I have enough shedding with the cats that are here. I don't need a dog that sheds. And most of your larger dogs will shed. But I'm looking around. Just if one happens to just drop in my lap, I may bring in another senior girl for him to have as a buddy for his time. Oh, excuse me. I've been fighting that for a while. But anyway, other than that, it's been a pretty good week. I had lunch with one of my friends yesterday from the scrapbooking group. Even though I don't scrapbook, I'm a card maker. She also makes cards, but there's a meetup group called RVA Scrappers, and I started going there when I found out they had card makers there also, and had lunch with the girl that organized it yesterday. So that was always fun to get together with your friends. But anyway, and I probably shouldn't tell you this ahead of time, but I've already started. I've been talking with, or not talking, but communicating with Teresa Salgado with tinypandora.com. And that's a robocall. And no more robo got it, so it won't ring anymore. And she has got this new resin that it's a 1-part resin. You don't have to mix it. And you brush it on and put it under the UV light for like 10 minutes. And it develops a beautiful shine on polymer clay. And she's sending me one so I can, try it and see what I think of it. And I will include it in my videos. But it's supposed to come today, so hopefully I'll have time over the weekend to play with it a little bit. Because I'd like to, before I do a video on it, I'd like to at least have tried it a few times and make, so I don't look like a total ditz. But I'm anxious to get that. It's supposed to come today. But tomorrow is supposed to be a sunshiny 70-degree day here in Virginia. So like I said, we're going from the 50s to the 70s. And then I don't know what's coming up. I think Sunday it's supposed to be warm, but it's supposed to rain. But, that's Virginia, and it's not technically springtime, but the weather is beginning to turn spring-like, and it's supposed to rain. You get rain. What is it? April showers bring May flowers. Only these are February showers bring whatever flowers. I don't know, but I do have flowers. My daffodils are blooming. My snowdrops and my bulbs are all coming up. My hyacinths, all my bulbs are coming up. So this is about the time every year that we usually get a snow. It seems like we'll warm up and everything starts budding, and then we'll get one quick snow, a wet snow that melts in a couple of days. But it seems like it happens that way all the time, only usually that's in March. So I don't know. We'll see what happens, but I am so ready for spring. But speaking of spring, I do have a winter project for you on Monday. I hope you'll like it. It was a request. Someone had asked me if I would do this. And then I've had another request for a cane that I can only find pictures of. It used to be a tutorial for sale on Etsy, but it's not there anymore. It's been taken down, and I can't find anything on there, so I'm trying to figure out how to do it, and I think I'm getting close. And as soon as I get that planned out, I'll do a tutorial on that, because the resulting cane is just beautiful, just beautiful. So let's see, what else have I got going on? Not a whole lot. That was pretty much it. So I just want to thank everybody for hanging in with me when I was going through my downtime, with Pink. I mean, it didn't take away from my videos, but I feel like I wasn't my perky self because I was, for the last 2 weeks, I've been a little down. But it's all going to be better now. It's going to be so much fun when I get this UV light and the resin and try it out and see how it works, because I'm not one to usually put a varnish on my clay pieces. I like the natural finish and the feel of baked clay, or at least the Primo and Cato. I'm not too fond of the finish on the souffle, but there are people that love it, and that's great. If you like it, that I have nothing against it. It's just, personally, I do not care for the finish because I like the feel of the regular baked clay so much. There are some things that just need a little bit of a shine. Sometimes I'll just buff it a little bit. But this resin, from what I've seen on Teresa's videos, it just looks awesome. It puts a really nice, shiny finish on things. And when you put a varnish on, you have to sand it and buff it, or at least sand it before you put the varnish on. And from what I understand with this resin, you don't have to do that. So I'm really anxious to try it. So hang around, check back with me often, because I'll get a video done as soon as I can get a little bit of practice with it. So I hope everyone has a wonderful weekend. If you're in the part of the country where you've got nice weather, enjoy it. If you're in the part of the country that's got snowy weather, I'm sorry. I really am. I am not a cold weather person, and I was so glad when it got warm here. But like I said, it's only February, so we still could get another cold snap or two here. But I am just ready for spring. But anyway, everyone have a great weekend, and I will be back next Friday with Friday Frolics, and come back on Monday for another polymer clay tutorial. Thanks. Y'all have a great day. Bye-bye.